about the poverty in Vietnam.
Foreign worker entering Malaysia and their solution.
Primary sector that contribute to GDP and the comparison between Malaysia and Vietnam.
Unemployment in Malaysia during COVID-19.
The export Vietnam versus Malaysia, that consequences for the economy of both countries.
Audio Jungle.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Marta binti Rahimi. My number matrix is 201220483. So today I'm going to talk about the poverty in Vietnam. The reason why Vietnam face poverty issue is because the low job opportunities in Vietnam. Vietnam is divided into two areas, which is rural area and the urban area. Even though Vietnam trying to improve their poverty issue, but it still have because of the ethnic discrimination, lacking of education system, deteriorating infrastructure, and the last one is weak domestic sector. Other than that, the infrastructure system for energy, water, sanitation, and also telecommunication are also far behind. So here is the graph of the poverty in Vietnam. As I mentioned before, most of the reason why poverty in Vietnam is bad, it is because of the ethnic discrimination. I will show you the ethnic minorities and the ethnic majorities in Vietnam. So now, what is the best solution to decrease poverty in Vietnam? Number one is the government should provide more job opportunities in the government sector or non-government sector, and cannot look at the ethnic because it can cause the ethnic discrimination. The second one is provide the good educational system to the youngsters and provide them the best facilities to educate them. The last one is the government should improve in the finance availability to the farmers and the agriculture output. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aisha binti Samsuri and my number matrix is 2012247. So today I will be discuss about the foreign worker entering Malaysia and their solution. It shows that foreign labour has entering Malaysia is either illegally or legally. It has increased from time to time. It has made the authority of Malaysia have some difficulties to control the estimate of foreign labour. The foreign labour has filled most of the Malaysia's market, and there are some of Malaysians that needs to compete with them in order to get some jobs. The low wages make it more difficult for the local to survive in the cost of living. That's why they need some jobs. Foreign labour also could increase the health issue in Malaysia because some of them were from the country that has a low level of health. The solution for the foreign labour is to control every entry of illegal immigrant, which is need a law enforcement by the government. And the recruitment of the foreign worker in a certain sector need to fill in the requirement that has been enforced by our government. Thank you, that's all for me.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Mukmin bin Nur Ramazlan and my matric number is 201220594. Today I want to explain the issue of the comparison, the export Vietnam versus Malaysia, that consequences for the economy of both countries. The result of the final demand in terms of output, value added and imports were previously shown in the usual way in the calculation of the country's GDP. In the Vietnam GDPs, they have some issue in the import and export in Vietnam. This case can look on the article in the Thai Times, which says the manufacturing sector of the Vietnam is faced with the supply chain challenges caused by the COVID-19 outbreak. Due to disruption in this pandemic, car, electronic and telecommunication manufacturers experience difficulty acquiring suppliers and materials. Furthermore, the problem faced by the automotive and electronic manufacturers are to secure alternative goods and materials along with stock management too. Next, the solution can be suggested that it needs the changing the structure of the East national expenditures to imports to the other countries of raw materials and creating the producer capable of the exporting to other countries, such as the brands for the electronic materials, the supplier consumer materials and other product in its own country. In addition, they must decide to improvement in the promoting, support, attract the domestic and the foreign investment into the supporting industries. The government of the Vietnam should focus on the development of the supporting industries in the electronic and mechanical engineering industries, garment and textiles, leather and the footwear industries, high-tech industries and automotive industries. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Yukan bin Abdul Talib. My matric number is 2012-20610. Today I will talk about issue and solution unemployment in Malaysia during COVID-19. A large number of companies, business operating, private organization and even the government were shut down immediately. The sector that attempt from the implementation of PKP to operate still have a negative impact due to the need to operate in accordance with such a strict SOP. Furthermore, the lack of customer present due to complying with the MCO is the biggest factor by which most company and business owner decide to close their business premise. As a result, many workers experience unemployment as a result of the employment sector being effective when the PKP was implemented. This result is an increase in the unemployment rate of 0.6% from 2019 until today. The current COVID-19 initial step is the government should provide some financial assistance that can give the company a boost to grow rapidly. This virus incentive can strengthen the spirit of traders to try something new in their business over the year and also face the challenging of the economic downturn more openly. And additionally, as they realize that the government is also to try to help them. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Fariza and I will continue with the primary sector that contribute to GDP and the comparison between Malaysia and Vietnam. The primary sector include all those activities that and purpose of which consist in exploiting natural resources such as agriculture, fishing and forestry. Agriculture sector remains an important sector of the Malaysian economy, contributing 12% to national GDP and providing employment for 60% of the population. With the increase in the agriculture sector, the country can increase export earning and contribute to the country's income and GDP. This has already been proven by the commercialization of oil palm and rubber, where the Malaysia has become one of the major producers in the world. Next is fishing. These commercial fishing activities are intended for the shipment of fish and other seafood products for human consumption or as an input considered the industrial process in increasing the country's GDP. And the last one is forestry. Forestry play an essential part in the country's economic growth. They supplies a variety of commodities that are used as raw materials in variety of business. Wood produced in the woods acts as the source of energy for rural families, and the modern forestry has involved in the great part in the tandem with the natural resources management. As a result, professional foresters have been more active in activities linked to soil, water, and the animal resource protection as well as leisure. Based on the data provided, the pulp and the paper industry are one of the three subsectors the greatest contributor to GDP. We move to the comparison between Malaysia and Vietnam. We have list three comparison. First is comparison of poverty in Malaysia and Vietnam. The problem of the poverty is a problem that occurs in both countries, which is Malaysia and Vietnam. The result of the study found that the problem of poverty in Vietnam is worse than in Malaysia. For example, in 2017, the poverty rate in Malaysia was 3.8%, while the Vietnam was 11.3%. Poverty in Vietnam is worse than Malaysia due to the low level of education. This has prevented the Vietnamese from getting jobs that offer the high income level. Second is comparison of unemployment between Malaysia and Vietnam. Unemployment in Malaysia is higher than Vietnam. It is because the total population in Malaysia is only 32.75 million compared to the Vietnam, which has a large population density of 97.34 million. Due to the small population in Malaysia, Malaysia unemployment percentage is higher than Vietnam. The problem of the unemployment in Malaysia occurs when employment opportunity for the locals are limited because many sector priorities the recruitment only for the foreign workers. Last but not least is comparison of agriculture between Malaysia and Vietnam. Two forms of agriculture exist in Malaysia are plantation and food production. Main agriculture that give Malaysian a lot of income are oil palm, natural rubber and cocoa. Compared to the agriculture in Vietnam, the main crop is rice. Agriculture in Vietnam is extremely labor intensive and water buffalo still low of a lot. That's all from me. Thank you.